Today we are answering your fashion questions. You know, I love reading the comments you give me below each video, and they really help me decide on what content you want me to create. And when I get a bunch of people requesting things, I do go ahead and create content based on those questions. But today I'm going to do a big roundup of all of your questions. I've gotten so many. I've got a list here, so sit back, relax, and hopefully your name will be mentioned in the video with a great question that I'm going to get to answer. So let's dive right in. Okay, the first question here I have is from Annette Hennessy. And she says, I'm in the middle of decluttering my closet. I bought a lovely velvet hangers, and rather than having 5 or 6 blouses on one hanger where I couldn't see what I had, having them on a single hanger makes matching clothes so much easier. That is great news. You've made a huge step. Now, I used to have this problem as well. You know those hangers that they talk about how you're space saving and it will collapse down and you have like, there's maybe 5 or 6 shirts on there and they just fall down the row, and I'll show you a picture right here. You can see what I'm talking about. These hangers, they tell you, oh, they're space saving. You're going to be able to pack so much more into your closet. However, the big problem is when you use these hangers, you never see what you've got. They're really hard to get to, and I mean, they take up less space. You can hang more things, but it makes it so hard to see, and they are kind of a pain in the neck to hang things back up on them again. So I totally agree with you, Annette, on using one hanger per item, and those velvet hangers are really nice and thin and they keep the clothes in place. I will put links to anything that I talk about today, as well as my outfit, in the description below, so you can go check that out. You can always find links in all of my videos down in the description. This question is from Sharon Goodwin. I'm going to abbreviate it down. Her question is, she lives in Florida. She's got a very small closet, but she gets overwhelmed with narrowing down colors. I love so many, I can't narrow it down. So I think this is a very common problem, and I have a very good tip for you. I hope this helps. Now, as you can see here, I am a fellow color lover. I love color. But one thing you're going to notice about my colors is that they're all very saturated and intense colors. You're not going to find a lot of like robin's egg blue or pale pink or pastels. I don't wear those. I really stick to this saturated palette. That's what I love. It's what I gravitate to. And then I accent it with white, navy, and black accessories and basics. So if you keep that in mind, that makes it all so much easier. Now take a look at your closet and think, are you gravitating towards pastels? Are you gravitating towards rustic colors like earth tones? What are the colors that people give you compliments on? I'm sure that you find that happens a lot, where you have a particular color on and you always seem to get compliments. Those are the colors you want to gravitate to, and it will help you weed through those colors that are kind of muddying up the waters. And what I like to do is just set those aside and see if I miss them. And if I don't miss them, then I get rid of them. It will help you just kind of decode, and you might, once you go through it like that and think, well, what do I really like? What are my favorite colors? Do I like green? Do I like red? Or do I like, what's the intensity of those colors? Once you narrow that down, it makes your closet so much easier to navigate. When I go into a store, I'm never looking at pastels, you know, like that soft pink that's really in right now, or beiges. They look awful on me, so I never wear them. It narrows it down, and give that a try. Let me know how it goes. I want to hear from you in the comments how that works out for you. Teresa Sheeper, she said, I retired in 2020 and I do have lots of clothes that I don't wear, but I'm not sure if I want to do away with it. Okay, this is another common problem, and guess what? I did a whole video just for you. I'm going to link it right up here on what to do when you've gone into retirement and your wardrobe has changed. How do you weed through it all? It's a very good, helpful video with lots of tips and tricks, but go slow. And when you're weeding through your closet, I like to put my clothes, if I haven't worn my clothes in a while, I like to put them in kind of clothing jail, meaning I take them out to my garage. Anything I haven't worn in like 6 months or a year, it goes to my garage if I'm not sure if I want to get rid of it. And then I ignore it. It sits there for a year, 6 months. If I haven't thought about those clothes anymore, I get rid of them because they are really providing no value. So it's a good way, if you're not ready to make a decision whether you want to keep something or not, put it in no man's land, either in a spare bedroom, in a box under your bed, in a garage, a basement. Get it out of your closet so you can see the clothes that you actually like to wear, and that will help you weed through. And you also want to take a look at what is your lifestyle right now, and are those clothes serving your current lifestyle, the ones that you're hanging on to. Sunny Nights 68, she said, I wear almost everything in my closet, but if I don't wear a piece, it's usually because I don't have a missing piece to complete an outfit. And then I hunt to find my missing piece. Then I get ADHD shopping and buy other stuff. Okay, I just covered this in a video as well, and I'm going to link to it here because this is a big problem. So once you identify the item in your closet that's missing, write it down and keep a notebook, because it is so easy to get distracted. Stores are designed to distract you. I mean, that's the whole point. They want you to buy more than what you need, and they want you to buy all of the newest things that you see when you go in. So what you're going to do is, instead of getting distracted, you're going to go in with laser vision, because you will have kept a note of all of those things that you need, and you're only going to buy those things. Just like you're going to the grocery store and you're not buying thousands of things that you don't need. I mean, maybe you are if you go shopping hungry. However, you know what I mean. You go with your list, you buy the things that you know you need, and then you kind of have blinders on to almost everything else. Yeah, you may pick up something new here and there, but for the most part, you beeline it to all of the things that you need, and then you're on your way out. Well, you're going to do the same thing when you're shopping for your clothes. You're going to say, okay, I need white t-shirts. I'm going to go buy those. Oh, I need new jeans. I'm going to only do jean shopping. So you're only going to walk in and look at the jeans. So you don't see any jeans there that you like, boom, on to the next store you go. It makes it really quick and easy. My daughter and I like to call it shopping missions, because we get in this mindset where we're on a mission to go find that item. And we have a lot of fun with it, and I hope that trick works for you as well. Okay, Tamisha Bridges has a great question. I know I have way too many clothes. I just feel like as soon as I get rid of something, I'm going to need it. So this is just like the other question that I answered about cleaning out your closet. It's really hard to get rid of things. I mean, you bought them, they're in your closet, maybe you spent a lot of money on them, and what if you do need it? Take those things that you think you're not going to need and get rid of them. Get them out of your closet, put them in storage, put them under your bed, in the garage, in a basement, in another bedroom, somewhere that you don't have to see them. I put them in a garbage bag and I bag them up, or I put them in a box. And then if I don't think about them again for 6 months, out the door they go. Next question is from Debbie King. Honestly, I don't know what my style is. I love tailored Ralph Lauren look, longer boyfriend jackets, and now I live in South Carolina and I have many Lily Pulitzer outfits too. And I love and have James Pierce t-shirts. I have a mishmash of styles. How do I pull it all together? Now, it sounds to me like, based on the brands you mentioned, you have a very preppy look. But what I hear is you've got the classic Ralph Lauren and James Pierce things that are more neutrals and classic colors. And then you've got Lily, of course, which is bright and vibrant, very saturated. So what you might want to do is break your closet into 2 capsules. So you've got your Lily in one section, and then your neutrals and your classics in another section. And that way you can have 2 little capsules within one wardrobe. It doesn't mean you can't mix and match them, but I think if you separate them out, have one half all your neutrals and the other half all your brights, it will allow you to see what you've got going on and not make you feel like you've got such a mishmash of clothing in your wardrobe. This next one is actually a tip that I really like from Finding Solace at Home. It's a really good way to control your closet. She said for every one thing she buys, she pulls out an item. And I think that's a really good little technique. So you're always going to have like a little go pile, you know, that you're getting rid of things. Instead of having a buildup that you have to go through every 6 months or a year and you're weeding through it, it's kind of a constant, something comes in, okay, something's got to go out. That's a great tip. Thank you so much, Finding Solace at Home. Okay, the next question is from Dory. Congratulations on your weight loss. It's a great accomplishment. I love fashion, but unfortunately, my weight and apple shape limits me on finding my style. At present, I'm on a journey to lose weight, and you know by experience how difficult it can be to dress fashionable while losing weight. Also, does body shape limit you on style? Also, can you do a vlog on how to dress while losing weight? So the reason I wear so much Lilly Pulitzer is because when I was losing weight, I was squeezing into, I could barely fit into Lilly Pulitzer. And I used to wear it 20, 30 years ago, and I always loved it. It was like just my kind of my go-to brand, and it always made me so happy when I wore it. Well, when I started losing weight, I went back into the Lilly Pulitzer store that was near me, and I could fit in the clothes, and I felt so good. It just made me feel so happy putting this clothing on that it just kept making me want to wear more. And you know what I noticed more than anything? It really changed my inner dialogue in my head and what I was saying to myself. And I noticed that I had been pretty harsh on myself and saying some things to myself that weren't very nice. And when I started looking in the mirror and seeing the girl that I knew and recognized from 20 years ago, and I liked what I saw, it made me want to do more of that. And then I'd talk to myself again and be like, you're looking good, girl, you know, and that's what made me so drawn to Lilly Pulitzer. And that's why I'm such a huge fan, because the colors make me feel good. They make me happy. And that's just what I like to wear. Whether it's your style or not, doesn't really matter. But I want you to gravitate towards colors and styles that you feel good in. And I also want you to pick out something about yourself that you do like. It's really easy to focus on the things that you don't like about yourself. Yes, I have a waist here. I have a belly. In fact, you can probably see it sticking over the way I'm sitting. And yeah, I don't like that. But I'm not going to focus on that. I'm going to draw your eye to other areas of my body that aren't focused on that area. So if you notice here, I have a belly, but I've got a patterned shirt on, so it's kind of busying up your eye a little bit. I'm wearing a V-neck to draw a nice line down and create length. And then I'm balancing that belly with a little puffy sleeve, so your eye is drawn up. It creates different balance. And if you go look at my video on dressing for your body shape, I talk about that, where we're putting on things that will create balance and highlight those areas that you want to highlight. So my whole goal is, yeah, don't look here, because I don't want to look there. I want you looking up here. Look at my cute shoulders and my pretty neckline and my face. That's where I want to draw attention. So think of it that way. Start talking to yourself with kind words. I mean, pretend that you're a little girl, and what would you say to her to make her feel good every day? You wouldn't say, oh, your belly's too big, you're not tall enough. No, you're perfect just the way you are. And here's some tips and tricks so that you feel good and happy every single day when you look in the mirror. So you can wear monochromatic outfits. You can wear clothes that give you a longer line. I'm going to be doing more videos like that one that I did on body shape. I'm going to be doing individual ones in depth on each body shape. So stay tuned for that. But go and look for clothes that accent the features that you want to show off, and kind of skim past the areas that you want to ignore. Okay, here is a question from Stephanie Maurer. I love seeing color in a capsule wardrobe. So refreshing, like sunshine. I would love to know if your home is decorated with splashes of color as well. It is. I've always loved color. I like to deal with kind of a neutral palette, lots of black and white, and then add in pops of color. The big painting that I have over my bed, that is loaded with color. I love colors. Here's a picture in my living room, big splashes of color. My husband likes some crazy, vibrant artwork, and he's colorblind, so I think he's always drawn to color because he can actually see those colors as opposed to beiges and grays. Okay, this one is from Deborah. She's saying, being a 53-year-old short, chubby woman, I hate shopping for clothes. I want a department store called You're 53 years old, don't dress like your mother. Deborah, I've got some starting places for you. So what are your style words? If you haven't done that, go check out that video on style words and choosing your style brand, because I'm sure it's going to be different than what your mother had. And once you narrow that down, it will help you find clothing companies and stores that fit your brand, and will help you identify what you're looking for. And then you're going to start to look for clothes that fit your body style. So you're going to go check out that video on body style, know your body shape, and then buy the clothes just like we talked about a minute ago with Dory. You're going to buy the clothes that fit your body shape, and you will feel much prettier, much happier. It'll change that dialogue in your head, and hopefully shopping will become a happy event for you. Okay, the next question is from Cindy. She said, I'd love to hear how you lost weight. How did you dress on the way down? I'm exactly like you in that I love preppy, but I tend to cover up with dark colors for a slimming effect. If you have any advice on preppy yet slimming, that would be something. You're not going to believe this, but my closet before I dove back into Lily was like 80% black. That's pretty much all I wore, and it was for the same reason. And now when I go back and look at videos, I'm like, or old photos, I'm like, that wasn't making you look slimmer at all. I mean, it's actually creating this like big dark box. The outline, like a silhouette, you're creating a living, moving silhouette with dressing in all black. So by adding colors and prints, you create optical illusions and finding things with ruching or shape. It will help you create a more slimming look. And buy a few pieces while you're losing weight that you like how you feel in them. And if you have to remember that you're going through a process, so you don't have to go buy an entire new wardrobe, but just think, okay, if I'm losing weight and things are kind of rolling along with it, I might be down 5 or 10 pounds in 2 months or 3 months or 4 months. So the season's going to change. Then I'll go buy a couple more things to get me through that next bit of transition. I did buy new clothes when I was transitioning, but really for the first probably 40 pounds, I really didn't notice any change in my clothing. I kept in the same clothes, and then it was all of a sudden, like a light bulb, my body shape changed, and all of a sudden those clothes that were fitting me, nothing fit anymore. Everything was way too big. So I sized down on a bunch of clothes for that season, knowing that probably the next season I would be buying new clothes to fit my new body. So don't go crazy, but definitely treat yourself to a few pieces and know that they're going to be some transition pieces. Okay, here's a question from A. Clark. She said, I'm wondering, did you always do capsule wardrobe, or is this something you've recently decided on? If so, how did you go about paring down on all of your items that didn't go with the look you decided on? I love your concept of getting rid of my clothes, but it seems very hard to do. I have a huge amount of clothes. I also love that you do all of the bright colors. Okay, I have a lot that I can unpack on this question. I've been doing capsule wardrobes for as long as I can remember. In fact, when I was in college, I had to get up and do a speech. So I did a whole speech on how to transition from day to night with your clothes. So it's always been in me. I've always liked dressing that way. Yeah, I was doing capsule wardrobes when there wasn't even a name for it. I just always, for some reason, my brain just always thinks that way. I spend a lot of time thinking about clothes and what's going to mix and match. And then when it comes to, you have a lot of clothes, you got to remember you have 365 days in a year. Are you wearing a new outfit every single day? If you've got that many clothes, that means that in order for those clothes to be worn, you need to be wearing, you're not repeating anything. So if you're telling me you're repeating clothes in your closet and wearing them again and again, that means there's a huge chunk of clothes that's not getting worn at all. So get rid of those clothes that aren't being used. Okay, and the Liddy Coat said, I'm scared to clean out my closet because the majority of it I don't like, but I hold on to things so that I have something to wear until I can afford to replace it or lose weight, but I still dislike my clothes and it doesn't make me feel great. Well, I've got some good points for you. So when you're looking at your closet, I know you're not liking all your clothes right now, and that's okay. We can live with that because it sounds like you're going through a transition. But what I do want you to do is take out all of the clothes that you're not wearing. I'm sure that there are pieces in there that you have not worn in 6 months or a year or even 2 years. Get those pieces out so that you're only looking at the clothes that you currently wear, that you wear on an everyday basis, and it will help narrow things down. And then you can start layering pieces in here or there that are maybe a little t-shirt, or maybe you want to buy a new jacket, just a couple pieces here and there, or treat yourself to a pair of shoes. They're not going to change in your size, or a scarf or a little bag. Treat yourself to something that's going to give your wardrobe a little bit of pop, that's going to move with you while you're transitioning into a different size, and it will give you some longevity to your clothes until you can buy some clothes that you really enjoy. And if you have questions for me, please always put them in the comments. I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video.